on the Mustangs Sports Network. From Learfield, this is the Hilltop Hoop Show, presented by the SMU Cox School of Business, with head coaches Andy Enfield and Toy L. Wilson. And now, live from Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue, here is your host, Rich Phillips.
Good evening. Welcome to another season of Hilltop Hoops here at Ozona Grill and Bar. This will be our Monday night basketball coaches show, and yes, I am Rich Phillips. Thanks for everybody who's out here joining us this evening. We'll do a show here tonight, and our next one will be 2 weeks from tonight, by the way. On the 30th is when show number 2 will be for Hilltop Hoops. Andy Enfield will be joining us here shortly, but first, let's welcome up the head coach of the SMU women's team, Toy L. Wilson. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Excited to be back.
Yes. Good week for you to be back, too, coming off a big win over Texas Tech last week.
Yes, a great week, and then we had 2 great days of practice today and then on Friday, and so just really excited about this team, great personalities, winners that want to win and do what it takes. We've had a lot of great energy the last couple practices.
61-57 over Texas Tech for you last Wednesday night. First win over the Red Raiders since 2006, by the way, for the program. And y'all were down 6 to start the fourth quarter, tied it up with 1:40 to go, and then obviously made the plays at the end to win it. How'd they get it done?
We made it interesting at the end, but I think we kind of settled down and scored where we had to score, finished around the basket a little bit. Nia got hot in the fourth quarter and hit some tough jumpers, but Jess had that good putback that she had offensive rebound, and so just plays that kind of made us successful. And so just proud of our girls and how resilient they were. They didn't get discouraged. They knew we were a better team. We just had to do a few things better.
Yeah, Nia Robertson, tough start to her night. Scored all 14 of her points, though, in the fourth quarter. She's the kind of player that can do that for you, isn't she?
Yeah, for sure. And, she has to let a lot of things come to her, and that's why subbed a couple ways early in the game. But the biggest thing for me is, I told her she has to know she has people that she can play around, that she can play with on this team. She didn't have that much at GW, and so I remind her of that all the time, that you have people you can play with that can score the ball as well, and actually to open the game up for her.
That's part of the learning. Coaches have to learn players. Players have to learn players too, though, don't they?
For sure. I mean, again, and we really harp on it in practice. We tell her, what's a good shot, a bad shot, or a rush shot, or a shot where she could have one more did, and she's still learning. Again, we have all these 8 new kids and gelling with the returners, and so we really it's going to take a little bit of time, and I think we were just looking at it. I mean, we're only a few games in, and we're still learning each other, but I think a lot of people can see that we're getting better and better over time, and we're right there. And I keep telling them we're right there. We just got to do a few things better on both sides of the ball. TK
Pitts had 11 rebounds for you, but her 2 biggest plays came in the final minute with 2 huge block shots for you.
Yeah, those were huge. And, again, learning those last 3 minutes of a game, making sure we're doing the right things, watching those last few minutes of the game are important, because at the end of the game, that's the biggest thing, is executing late game scenarios, situations. What are we doing with fouling? What are we doing with not fouling? I know Z looked over at me. Do you want me to miss the free throw? Those little things are all important at the end of a game.
You got to love it when your point guard goes up there and ices the game for you with 2 free throws. 3 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, Z had 8 assists, no turnovers. She's just really steady for us, has been scoring the ball a lot more, been very aggressive, confident. And that's what we brought her here from Villanova to do, is we wanted her to score the ball. She played in a great system where she didn't turn the ball over. That's what we were looking for. She's really good in ball screening situations. That's what we were looking for. So I'm really excited about her growth, even though she's, so old.
8 assists and no turnovers. It's hard for any point guard to do that, isn't it?
Yes, anybody, not even just a point guard, anybody. Yeah, but again, I think she values possession. She doesn't like to turn the ball over. She's going to get a dead ball turnover before she turns the ball over. That's just how Z is. And so she makes great decisions, though. She's low to the ground. She plays off 2 feet. Just very smart basketball IQ.
And then Jessica Peterson had her 5th double-double already on the season. That's 4th in the ACC. That's 18th in the nation for double-doubles. Obviously, huge to have her up and playing so well this year for you, too.
Yeah, sat out last season, redshirted, and so this year she wanted to come back and really make an instant impact, and she's done that. She came back healthy, came back in shape. She gives us a little bit of that toughness and that grit inside on the post. She brings a different dynamic. She can play on the inside and out, rebounding monster. So she gives us that safety and that safe space on we can rely, and I know what I'm getting with Jess game in and game out.
Did you see a lot of the things down the stretch of that game that you felt you were missing in some of the earlier games this season?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is we got in a little bit of foul trouble, and we just got to stay and defend without fouling because once you get in foul trouble, that really changes your rotations up. I think the girls also understand that they believe they can compete at this level. If they didn't see it versus Arizona State, Minnesota, Missouri, I mean, and they believe that we can compete, and now we just got to do those things, those steps, those little tiny small steps in order for us to reach that next level of winning basketball games.
Is this something that you think can kind of propel the team into this final week of non-conference and then conference play coming up the first of the year?
For sure. I mean, we already played one game in conference with Florida State, and we had an unbelievable probably 3 quarters, and so we just got to put it all together where we're playing 4 quarters of good basketball because in the ACC, you got to play 4 quarters. You're not going to be able to play 3 quarters and win a game.
Our segment each week with Coach Wilson is brought to you by Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue with the best patio in town and a happy hour from 4 to 7 every Sunday through Friday. Specials including free chips and salsa. Ozona Grill and Bar. Find your comfort zone. Let's just talk a little bit about the season overall. 11 games in here. Every loss has been by single digits, too. Do you feel all the parts are there and just trying to get everything in the right spots?
Well, I think that's what we were talking about as a staff, is just saying, like, we believe that we can compete with anybody on any given night, and especially in the ACC. You play everybody once. And so you catch somebody on a bad night and we play really well and take away what they really want to do, you can win and compete in any game. And so it's important for our girls to be locked in, knowing the scout, knowing the personnel, knowing and believing they can win, but doing all the things that we have to do to win the game. And you're not going to be able to just go out there and just show up. You actually got to go out there and game plan and go out there and think the game and not just go out there and just play the game. But, again, they're learning on the go with new players. It's an unbelievable way seeing how much they've grown from game 1 to this game.
I know one of the things you want is to be physical on defense. You're only giving up 37% shooting to your opponents. Are you getting what you need in that area right now?
Yeah, we work on defense every day, and we want to hang our heads kind of on defense. And so that and offensive rebounding we've been really kind of harping on. And so I just think they've bought into what we're trying to do defensively. And I really think we can get that down even better. I mean, 37% is unbelievable. But now we're going on into ACC play. We're really going to have to be locked in as a team defense with rotations and matchups and different things that we want to do defensively. So I think the girls are really, I mean, again, I told you, like, their energy has been really amazing to see even today. They want to play defense. They want to lock in. They want to stop our practice guys. So really excited about what we can do.
A lot of kids coming out of high school don't want to play defense. They just want to score, right?
High school, college, they all the same. But no, and it's just, when you come to college, it's a different type of, they call it two-way players, but it's like you got to play both sides of the basketball. But really excited about, like I said, our team as a whole, and we can get everybody healthy and on the floor and continue to see how the season goes.
You mentioned offensive rebounding. You're 11th in the nation in that at 16.7 per game. And overall rebounding, you've had 2 games of 50 rebounds plus, including 52 against Texas Tech the other night.
Yeah, I mean, defensively we're crashing 5. Offensively we're crashing a lot too. And so, we know, again, I know I'm going to get with Jess and Tay and TK, but, having those others rebound defensively and really getting that mix. And, rebounding is a want to. It's a will. It's like you want to get in there and just have that kind of grit. And that's with Jess, Tay, TK. They all possess that. Now we're just trying to get some of the other ones in the mix with that.
So this week you've got 2 games to finish up the non-conference portion of the schedule. Both will be in Denton in the UNT tournament. Thursday, 6 o'clock against North Texas. That'll be on ESPN+. John Hendry has it on the SMU app. And then Friday at 4 against Chicago State. That's also in Denton and on the SMU app. North Texas split with them last year when we were playing them in the American Athletic Conference, so trying to turn the tables on them going back to Denton this year. Yeah,
I mean, listen, Jason Bird, I'm really tight with him. He's doing a great job over there in North Texas, and they have a lot of ammo, a lot of balanced attack. They want to play fast, and they're a really good team. So I'm really excited to see how our girls kind of play on another true road game. That's why we put the schedule the way we did it against a team that was picked top 2 in the conference. to win the conference. They have the preseason player of the year, a post player that really dominates the post. So we're going to have our hands full all the way around, and so we're really excited about the opportunity. And I think our girls are excited about the opportunity also.
Yeah, that's Tamisha Lampkin, right, who's preseason player of the year. She was first team all-conference last year, too.
Yeah, I mean, she just does a lot for her team, and they run through her, for her, with her, all the things. And so we just got to do what we're supposed to do. Girls will be, ready, and we'll game plan and be able to present everything to our players. And Chicago State, be ready for them after we play North Texas.
You mentioned their coach, Jason Burton, that you're tight with. His first year was amazing for them last year. It was a historic season with 23 wins last year for them.
Yeah, brought his kids over there from Texas A&M Commerce, and they really bought into, playing fast and defending and playing 90 feet, and, they're still doing it. So he's doing a good job.
And then Chicago State Friday at 4, and then after that, your next game's not until January 2nd when you play Stanford. Holiday plans?
Going home, but, yeah, we'll be back, and – we'll be back. We have a couple kids we signed that are going to be on their visits, and so we just want to be ready for ACC. But the biggest thing is, like, right now our eyes are set on North Texas, Chicago State. It'd be great to go into the conference play on a 3-game win streak and against a really good opponent. And Chicago State I haven't watched yet, but they're going to come out and play hard also with their new coach, with Corey. So we definitely have to be ready for Thursday and Friday.
Much downtime for you during the holidays or for your team during the holidays?
Yeah, they get, 5 days off? 5 days off, yeah. So after we play on Friday, they'll be out of here, and they'll come back, and we'll come back and prepare for conference play. But with us getting better and adding a few things in and just being ready for this great opportunity.
All right, Toya Wilson, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk again in 2 weeks up here. How about it?
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Toya Wilson, SMU women's basketball coach, joining us here on Hilltop Hoops.
Yeah, and then real quick, I just want to thank my staff and support staff all in here in the stands. I mean, I think all of 10 of our staff is here to support me and just our program. And, you're nothing without who your staff is, and so they're working hard, and sometimes I work them too hard. But they're working hard to make sure, we put some good product on the floor and be prepared for these games every day we have, including the ACC.
Awesome. Thanks, Toya.
All right, appreciate it.
All right. If you want to support your favorite Mustangs, join SMU's official NIL partner, the Boulevard Collective. The Boulevard leverages NIL and the DFW community to develop excellence and leadership capabilities in SMU student athletes while supporting the missions of SMU and the SMU Athletic Department. Visit boulevardcollective.com to join and learn more. We'll have men's coach Andy Enfield up here next on the Hilltop Hoops. Welcome back here to Hilltop Hoops. Rich Phillips with you at Ozona Grill and Bar. We'll do the SMU Basketball Coaches Show here on Monday nights. Our next one coming up 2 weeks from tonight. And let's talk a little men's basketball with SMU coach Andy Enfield. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good day for you to be here, too, after a nice win Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, our team played very well against LSU. It was a great neutral court win. Suburb, Frisco, and what a great arena. Really well done, and our team played well. Yeah,
74-64 the win. They were receiving votes, I know, in the coaches poll last week, so obviously a good win over them. They were, 8-1 coming in. You're down 6 at halftime. I watched your post-game press conference. You said you don't raise your voice often. I guess it means you raised your voice Saturday?
Well, at halftime, we did not play well in the first half, especially offensively. We missed some open teammates that should have received the basketball at the right time. We missed some layups, missed some wide open threes. We just didn't have it, did not play well and didn't play together. Second half we came out and played great basketball, scored 47 points, had 20 assists for the game, which is a lot. And we're leading the ACC. We told them we're leading the ACC in assists for a reason because we shared the ball when guys were open, and second half they were terrific.
Could you figure out a rhyme or reason why it went that way in the first half?
Been doing this 30 years. I stopped trying to figure out things a long time ago.
You just push ahead, push forward, right? A 14-0 run put you guys up by a dozen. Right at the start of that was a little dust-up between Samet Yugitolu and Victorious Miller. Was that any kind of a spark for your guys, you think?
Well, I think they were playing hard. There's two freshmen. Victorious is from Los Angeles. We know him quite well from a staff that was at USC, and Samet is a freshman, so they're just trying to get their feet wet in college basketball. It happens.
Samet's numbers, I don't think, really told the story of his game Saturday. He had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. But what did he alter, 8 or 10 others? I mean, there were some terrible looks they had trying to get it over him.
Samet's really improved, especially in the last 4 weeks. Yeah, he's come a long way offensively. Defensively, he was much better in ball screen coverage. He challenged his shots at the rim, and he's learning to be more physical without fouling.
How different is the game here than it was for him when he played in Istanbul?
Not too sure. I've never seen a game over there. So, I'm assuming it's a lot different, but he's done a great job of just trying to learn the college basketball game.
And then Matt Cross had 16 points, and he tied his career high with 16 rebounds, and he was named ACC Player of the Week today.
Yeah, what a great accomplishment, 16 rebounds. Yeah, one of the big reasons we recruited Matt is he's so tough. He's such a great rebounder. He rebounds outside of his area, and I thought on Saturday he showed everything. He had not only scored the ball with 16 points, but 16 rebounds against an athletic team like LSU is impressive.
Yeah, because he's only 6'7", and he's got a lot of teammates that are taller too, and they had some good bigs. I thought 11 was really good for them too. Is it all about everything he does about grit and determination?
No, he's great rebounders pursue the basketball, and they have a feel for where the ball is going to bounce, and when they see it, they go and get it. There are a lot of taller, more athletic players that don't pursue the ball like Matt, and Matt will go out of his area. The ball just doesn't bounce to you 16 times in a game. You have to go get it.
There's also something, too, to knowing where it might go, too, right? Knowing angles and things like that?
Well, number one, you have to go every possession. Every offense and defense rebound, the more you go, the better chance you'll have more rebounds at the end of the game, and he's relentless on that. He loves physicality. He loves contact, and he's just a very good rebounder.
I know he tweaked his back like, the first play of the season, basically, first minute of the opener, missed the next game. How much did that slow him a little bit at the start of the season?
Well, it was really devastating for our team and for Matt because first play of the first game, offensively, he threw his back out and was out for a couple weeks, and then when he came back against Butler, was his first game back, did not play well, and we were just out of sorts for the team. Samet wasn't eligible or cleared to play for the first 2 or 3 games, and so our team went through some growing pains early on because Matt was getting healthy, Samet was getting eligible, and then our team was trying to learn how to play together. So we've come a long way since then, and we're just happy Matt's healthy now.
In Saturday's game, I thought B.J. Edwards had the busiest stat line, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals in 29 minutes. And he only took 4 shots to score 12 points, too, because he made his free throws. Terrific game for B.J. on Saturday.
Well, if you look some of the most improved players around the country, forget about just the ACC, around the country, B.J. Edwards is one of them. Last year, averaged about 2.5, 3 points, and just didn't have the confidence that he has now. When you watch him play, he's confident on the defensive end. We put him on their leading scorer in the second half. He really shut him down. And then offensively, he's doing a lot of things to fill that stat sheet up.
He's had 8 double-digit scoring games in the first 11. He had 1 all of last season. Did the confidence come just from him, or did you guys spend the summer working on building that confidence in him?
Well, it's hard to build confidence in someone in the summer. You have to, as a coaching staff, you try to work with them on their skills and then put them in a system to try to succeed. But he is a gym rat. He's in the gym all the time, and he works on his game. He just is a student of the game. So we can't say enough about him. He's a big key to our team.
He was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, so we do obviously there was something there, and he still. At times he looks casual and calm and collected on the floor, and he looks like he's having fun. Isn't that what a lot of the key is, that the guys are having fun when they're playing?
Well, the goal of any player is to keep getting better throughout their career, and the more confident you are, the more successful you are, the more fun you have. And he's had a great start of the season. We're 11 games in, a third of the regular season's over now, and he's had a great 11 games.
Boopy Miller's hit a little bit of a rough patch with his shot. Is he a guy that you just kind of let him shoot right through it and it's going to work out?
Well, Boopy's so valuable to our team. He leads us in assists and scoring. He has struggled from the three-point line. That first game that he missed 7, they were all wide open looks, and he's a good shooter. So the law of averages will come back. He just needs to take the right open shots, and he'll be fine.
Do you worry about him at all, if he's going to start forcing it a little bit or things like that?
Well, if he forces it, just come sit next to me, so I don't really worry about that. He can come sit, hang out with me for a few minutes if he wants, but he's done a good job of getting his teammates involved and really playing outstanding team basketball.
Coach has a solution for that, huh?
Exactly.
Defense is something that you and the staff have been preaching all season, and I find it interesting that you said in your postgame Saturday that you thought in that LSU game, the second half defense was so much better, yet they scored about the same point total as they did in the first half. What was so much better about your defense in the second half?
Well, we made them work for everything, and we outscored them by 16 in the second half. We were able to force many turnovers. I think they ended up with 17 turnovers. So we were able to convert some of those steals and deflections into transition points for us and go on that big run. If you look at the last 4 games, we did a analysis today. We'd be ranked 15th defensively in the nation in the last 4 games. So we've significantly improved from the beginning of the year. We try to put in this system. It's new to all our players because we've never coached them. They've never played for us. So it took a while for them to grasp the defensive system, and then they realized how hard they had to play. So we're very proud of their improvement, but it's a long season ahead, and they need to bring it on Saturday.
What are some of the different factors that go into what would have you at that defensive rating you were talking about there?
Well, you have to guard your own man, but then you have help side, and you have to give early help, and then you have to finish with toughness. We are leading the ACC in rebounding, which is nice. So our guys are doing a nice job of finishing off defensive plays, and so they're getting better.
Our segment with Coach Enfield each week is brought to you by our sponsor, the Cox School of Business. Long-term career success begins at the SMU Cox School of Business with the number 27 full-time MBA in the nation. Our commitment to your success, new state-of-the-art facilities, and welcoming national network combine to help open doors here in Dallas and beyond. Learn more at smu.edu/Cox/Pony Express. Let's talk a little bit about the makeup of your team for this season. And it's not so much different. It is so much different how you rebuild now than, say, you did, 11 years ago when you took over at USC, because you had to bring in high school players mostly to redo it. You have 10 new players. 7 of them are veteran players, though, that transferred in. How does that speed up the process with turning around a program?
Well, today in college sports, especially in men's basketball, it's a different era with the transfer portal and the NIL. So you can rebuild your roster immediately, and it's not easy. Because you would like some continuity, players returning that know the system, know the school, the university, but we didn't have that luxury this year. We had to go out and rebuild our entire team with 10 new players, and that's why I think it's pretty cool that our team has improved so much, because they're starting to get used to playing together, and we're getting more used to coaching them. And so as you try to build a roster, you try to build a roster that can score the ball but also has enough size and length to be competitive defensively and rebound it.
You also, it's not easy to do it when you have to do it immediately. Late March, you hit the ground running, right? It had to be a hectic few weeks there with the portal.
I didn't get hired till April. So
was it April?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But April and May were nonstop from 5 in the morning till 11 at night, and we had a lot of visitors come in. The graduate transfers, they come in, or the transfer portal, usually they come in for one day, the players and their families. So it was a nonstop visit tour for us and for many of the players that we were recruiting. They would go on 3, 4, 5 visits and make their decision pretty quickly. So the advantage of the transfer portal is the decisions are made much quicker. The high school players, you have to go watch their games when they're sophomores, juniors, seniors, and then they go to another school and you just wasted 2.5, 3 years of your life. So we're fortunate to have a very good recruiting class of high school players coming next year, right. 4 Texas signees. So at least we want to have a good mix of transfers with those freshmen that can come in and develop as SMU Mustangs.
While you're able to turn your roster over quickly, does it also have other challenges when you get those guys trying to change habits and ways of doing things to kind of conform to what you want?
Well, yeah, if you look at the transfers have played at 1 or 2 or 3, sometimes 3 different schools in their career, so everybody's different, every coaching staff and every system. So our goal as a staff is to try to help them succeed in our system and have them compete at the highest level.
And while it's 10 new players to the program, they're all new to you. I guess you knew Keon, right? You recruited Keon, didn't you, at USC?
Yeah, he did come in and visit. He went to Alabama, so I hadn't seen him in 5 years, so
right.
So he's kind of new to me. I forgot what his name was.
So how much through this first 11 games has it been a feeling out process for you and your staff with the players?
Well, you have to go through adversity before you grow, and we've been through a lot of that. We've had a lot of close games, played a very challenging schedule. And so once you start to go through some adversity, that's when you get to know your team. And I think they get to know our staff, how we and then we can figure out how to motivate our young men. And that's why the LSU game was a really good indication that we started to understand what we need to do as a staff. And the players really responded. Really, very, very impressive second half. I'm really proud of our team and how they responded.
Looks like you've got about 7 heavy minute guys of late and 9 that you're playing. Are you kind of settling in on your rotation, do you think, at this point?
Well, we have 11 guys that have played, and they're all good players. As a head coach, it's the hardest thing that we do is to decide that rotation, because they're good players that sometimes don't get as many minutes or don't play at all that really deserve and can play and can help you as a team. So that's the hardest part. Our rotation has been developing, but it's not set in stone, and we'll keep the guys that are playing well will probably play the most minutes.
2 of you guys who played fewer minutes on Saturday, Keon Ambrose Hilton and Jarrell Colbert, I thought both had big effects on the game, though, They
both played great. Keon in the first half, and then Jarrell, what a second half. Jarrell had his plus-minus. He was plus 11 in 7 minutes of playing time and came out and really affected the game with his ball screen coverage, his energy. He was able to get a dunk and an out-of-bounds play, and then he ran the floor, beat everybody down the court for about 5 straight times.
You mentioned a little bit about next year's team already taking shape, signing Jaden Toombs, Jermaine O'Neal Jr., Nigel Walls, class ranked as high as number 6 by ESPN. You got to feel pretty good about that for your first full high school recruiting class here.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we feel great about our recruiting class. They're all terrific players, but they're all really nice young men and from great families that want to be here, take ownership of this program in the long term and the short term when they come in next year.
Did you know Jermaine's dad from his days in the league?
Well, I did coach against him as an assistant coach in the NBA. Jermaine was an NBA All-Star. It was terrific. In fact, we tried to trade for him when I was with the Celtics, and he was with the Portland Trail Blazers, and then he went to the Pacers and used to beat up on us. So what an amazing career he had, and he runs a great program, and now that his son is coming next year, he's a special player.
Yeah, Jaden Toombs plays for him over there at Dynamic Prep 2. How much of the recruiting class was affected by the ACC?
Well, you don't get those level of recruits unless you're in a power conference, and they love the opportunity to come play in the ACC, one of the top conferences in the country, and some great historical universities will be competing against this year and next year, so they're excited.
How busy will you be in the portal for next season's team?
You never know who's going to come back on your team, so right now we don't even want to think about the portal. We're trying to focus on Boston College on Saturday and go from there.
Do you feel like you're recruiting your guys every single day?
No. We're going to coach how we coach, and we're going to compete this year. We're worried about this year and this year only. If we have to rebuild our team next year, we'll get to that in April. We are focused so much on getting our guys better, having them buy into a team like they are right now, and then go compete in the ACC.
Well, you are tied for the lead in the ACC at 1-0.
Well, that's nice.
That is nice. Tell us about this historic day, 2 Saturdays ago, beating Virginia at home in the first ever ACC game.
Well, it was a really big challenge to play the first ACC game in SMU history was pretty cool. And that's what we told our players. You're going to play in the first ACC game in SMU history. And why don't we just win that so you can tell your grandkids one day that you did that.
And were you a little concerned because they play a totally different style from you? Because I believe they had scored over 70 twice, and you'd scored over 100 3 times. Were you concerned that the score wasn't where you needed the pace of that game to be?
Well, we told our team a long time ago and early in the season that you have to play different styles, opponents, and you're not going to shoot the ball great every night, so you have to win with your defense some nights. In the Virginia game, they slow it down. They have the slowest pace in the country, and especially in our league. And so we knew the possessions would be more limited than a normal basketball game. And they're very hard to guard because they run the clock. They set about 8 or 9 screens every possession, and you have to fight over those screens. And they're very methodical, and they have good players. And I was very proud of our guys. They went out without a field goal the last 10 minutes of the game, and we were able to take the lead and hold it.
That's hard to imagine ever that happening, even in practice, much less in a game that you can hold somebody scoreless or without a bucket for 10 minutes.
Especially a team like Virginia. They have outstanding players and coaches, so we were happy.
The first ACC road game comes up this Saturday. It is 11 a.m. at Boston College. It'll be televised on the CW, radio-wise on the SMU app. John Hendry going to do that game. I got some other game I'm going to be at. Sorry, Coach. A little game I'll be at.
Well, I'm from Pennsylvania, and all my friends are Penn State fans. I wasn't growing up, but I was going to plan on going to that game. They just happened to make it at 12 noon, the exact day and exact time that we play in Boston College. So hopefully we'll be successful and then catch a second half on the way to the airport.
I was trying to figure out some way to do both, but, they didn't make it possible. Boston College off to a 7-4 start. They have played a ton of close games. What have you seen from them getting ready for this week?
Well, it's an ACC team on the road, so it's very challenging. It's hard to win on the road in this league, and we know that. So we have to be prepared. We have to go up there and play the kind of defense we've been playing the last 4 games.
They're led by Donald Hand Jr., 13.5 points, 7.5 rebounds. He was the Virginia Player of the Year coming out of high school who lost a year to injury. Only played about 15 minutes a game last year. What have you seen the way he has grown into kind of his lead role this year for them?
Well, I've spent about a half an hour watching their video, so I'll let you know probably later in the week. But he's a talented player. I did watch his personnel edit today. He's really explosive.
Their head coach, Earl Grant, 4th year there. They were 20-16 last year. That's the first 21 season they'd had since 2011, and he got them into the NIT last year. So good little growth for him right now.
No, he's a terrific coach. What a great guy he is. So we know they'll be prepared to play us, especially at home. So we know we have our hands full.
Matt Cross going to have a big cheering section, isn't he, from Beverly, Massachusetts, not far away?
Yeah, Matt's from Massachusetts. He's a legend around Boston, so he says. So we're going to go find out.
A legend or a legend in his own mind? You're going to find out.
We will find out.
Is it too early to start looking at things like rankings and net and things like that? Do you pay attention to things like that this early?
We don't pay attention to too much, but we know we're ranked 40th in the net right now, so you have to have your you kind of gauge that, and it's important to see where you are and what you have to do to improve that. And I think our team has really improved our net ranking in the last few weeks.
Yeah, Saturday certainly a big help in that too. Do you discuss it with your players at all?
Yeah, we tell them that every possession matters of every game. It doesn't matter who you play, where you play them, and you have to win your share of games or your net's going to go down. But our guys are really focused on just what they have to do to win games right now, and the coaches will take care of all the other stuff.
After Saturday, you're off until, I believe it's the 29th. Play the last non-conference game at home against Longwood. Holiday plans for you and the family?
We'll be here in Dallas. First one in Dallas. Never spent Christmas here, but we look forward to it.
It's not quite a California Christmas, but it's also not a Pennsylvania Christmas.
That's right.
It's somewhere in between.
We'll take it.
All right. Well, very good. All right. Well, Saturday, 11 a.m. is when the SMU men will be playing on the road at Boston College. And remember, the women on Thursday and Friday up in Denton against North Texas and Chicago State. Our next show will be in 2 weeks from tonight. Andy, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andy Enfield with us here tonight on the Hilltop Hoops. Thanks to everybody joining us here tonight. We'll see you again here in 2 weeks for Hilltop Hoops at Ozona Grill and Bar.
This has been the Hilltop Hoop Show with head coaches Andy Enfield and Toy L. Wilson. Presented by the SMU Cox School of Business and broadcasted live from Ozona Grill and Bar. The proceeding has been a presentation by the Mustangs Sports Network from Learfield.